led to me at a young age being, homeless for a bit. I literally went from the 45th floor to, literally no floor. I made quite a bit of money inside of that, the crypto at that time. As soon as like COVID hit, everything just came down, everything. It was almost cyclical.
Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have taken a nosedive.
About $8 billion vanished.
I'm hearing people are losing a little bit of hope for cryptocurrency.
There is a greater plan for cryptocurrency, which we can all see.
Here's a little bit of a bone I have to pick with the culture. I do feel like popular artists will back these type of NFT projects, and they're not really financial advisors, and they're just leading people astray. 95% of NFTs are dead.
It's a bloodbath for real. What's going on, everybody? Justin Kyle here. 25 years old, entrepreneur here in the city. Been in the city now for my whole life. Entrepreneur now for the last 7 years.
Dope.
A little bit about me, man. Like I graduated from St. Marcellinus in Mississauga.
Say word.
St. Marcellinus.
You're from Saga?
Yeah, I'm actually from Rex. I'm from Rex though.
Yeah.
But I moved to Saga when I was grade 10.
So you went to St. Marcellinus. Was Amir there? Morgan? The gym?
The gym, the bald one, right?
Yeah, that's
bald
my
coach,
guy.
right?
That's my guy.
Yeah, he was actually even like coaching like RJ when I was those guys were there for a little bit. Yeah.
So what area did you live in?
I lived in Mavis and Dairy at that time.
Okay, I know where that is.
Yeah, Mavis and Dairy.
Okay, dope, bro. So let everyone know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so right now I'm a co-founder at a company called Novelty. We're a blockchain ticketing system. So if you think about like Eventbrite, Ticketmaster, Ticket Gateway, we're a ticketing system for that. And we're just trying to innovate the landscape right now. And like we have a lot of special people that we're working with right now. We raised some money. We're currently funding for that, and we're set to like deploy and get launched for this year.
Okay, dope. So before I dive deep into I really want to talk about the crypto space, NFT space, blockchain, because a lot of people are taking a little bit of a hit right now. So there's some non-believers right now, but we'll get back into that in a sec. I want to get into the backstory.
Right.
How did you get into entrepreneurship?
So I was actually working at Good Life back in 2016 over at the Heartland location. You know where that is, right? Yeah, right over there.
Yeah.
And I actually had found Javon. He was actually working out at like 2 a.m. I was working out at 2 a.m. And like he basically kind of just explained what this whole Forex thing was, and I just got into it. And that was like early. That's how I got in. It was like network marketing. Network marketing was like my foundation of where I started. So I went straight from high school. I didn't want to go to college. I actually, truth be told, I didn't even get accepted to any college program.
Really? Really? Okay.
So I actually had to figure it out in the real world. You know what I mean? And then I just went straight into like the sales industry. Okay. That's where it started for me.
So for the naysayers, when they hear Forex, people get a little bit scared because of Forex scams, this multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Clear that up for everybody, please.
So honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I can only keep it real on this podcast. There's absolutely a lot of like bougie fake stuff out there when it comes to Forex.
Yeah.
But the Forex industry itself, foreign exchange, is a very legitimate industry. It's something that we do partake in every day. If we're going from, let's say from Canada to the US, we're exchanging our currency. So it's always gonna be here, and it'll never not be here. In terms of like the programs and different things that are out there, I would just say, be mindful. I was a part of a network marketing company that offered a Forex product while still having the capability of building a team. I think it all comes down to like the leadership, who is leading like these programs, because it's not about the program itself, because the program is like proven.
Legitimate.
It's legitimate, but it's about the leaders that are leading it that can bring you or sway you away from the actual concept of Forex.
Okay, makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense, because every time I hear Forex, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear about it.
That's real.
But I'm happy that you cleared that up. So you're a person that I've just learned, you've been through a lot in your life. Yeah. And you've made big changes and big turnarounds. Obviously, I could see it, because if you didn't tell me some of the things, I'd be like, I would never expect.
Right.
Do you want to shed light on some of those things?
Yeah. So in the hype of like the boom of cryptocurrency, 2018 to that 2020 run, I made quite a bit of money inside of crypto at that time. But as soon as like COVID hit, you saw April, everything just came down. Everything. It was almost cyclical. You know what I mean? Like Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft at the time. Amazon, I think at that time, even Jeff Bezos became just a president, not the actual.
So everyone got hit.
Everybody was shifting, and I wasn't prepared for what had happened. So I had lost, a significant amount of money and the ability to provide for my family at the time. On top of financial issues, my family me and my family had a lot of conflict. So at that time, it led to me at a young age being homeless for a bit. Jeez. And then ultimately that led to mental health issues. That the natural course of just being young and just also finding your way.
How old were you at the time?
I had to be 20, 21.
21, you're going through all that already.
20, yeah. But here's the thing: prior to that, me and my ex had lived at York Street, the ICE condos. Mm-hmm. So I literally went from the 45th floor to literally no floor.
Jeez.
I mean? Yeah, real shit.
That's crazy. So going through that at such a young age, 20, and obviously it sounds like you had a lot of responsibility at that time.
Yeah, I did.
So you felt what it's like at the top of the top and the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah.
Is that the part where it became mentally super tough? Did you see no way out at that time?
At that time, I knew where if I put my mind to something, I knew where I could go because I saw that. But I'm just at that time, it was definitely very dark for me because also at that time, I kind of lost a sense of my own identity. Of
really?
Who I was. Yeah,
but
yeah.
At that, I will say at that age, I feel like that's a little bit normal.
No, it's a little bit normal. It's true, but it just led to a super downward hill spiral, which I just wasn't. And here's the thing: at that time, I just realized now how much friends I grew up with, but for some reason I forgot about everything. I don't know.
You just felt like you were in it alone.
In it alone.
Jeez.
In it alone.
So what was the turning point, or what was that moment where you're you know what, Justin, I got to get my shit together again. I can't let myself spiral even further.
What it was for me was just moving from, shelter to shelter at the time. And some of my good friends knew. I was just is this what's going to be for me? Mm-hmm. No. Like I said, I come from a very strong family. I come from a very strong lineage, and my belief in God far supersedes any type of instance or any circumstance that ever happens in my life. So it was the belief that I'm God has something still here for me. I'm still alive. I didn't commit suicide. I had no urge to commit suicide. I said, I'm going to fight, but I just couldn't really see at that time the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes,
couldn't see it. But I'm here as a human being right now living in it. I'm God still has something for me because it's this whole it's a stage. I'm a character here. I'm a big personality. I'm supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't come to this earth if I didn't serve a purpose. So that's what I was going through my mind the entire time. And I pushed through, bro.
So what I'm hearing too is when I hear these kind of stories, I'm you know what? I guess sometimes it's hard to see why this is happening at the time. But I think personally that if that never happened, you wouldn't be who you are today.
Absolutely. People that actually do know me, they know how selfless I am. They know how much in conversations my ego doesn't get in between. I'm a very understanding person because I feel if life can show you different things, those character development moments, you know what I mean, over and over and over again, you're going to become an outstanding person. I'm not calling myself an outstanding person, but the people have to appoint you that. Mm-hmm. I do receive a lot of love from people, and I being consciously aware of it. I'm just because it's just the person you become. You know what I mean? What you continue to be.
What do you think that did for your ego?
My ego didn't like it. It didn't like it.
Fair.
During that time?
Yeah.
Because it's you're going, it's just yo, that's where the battle was.
Yeah.
It was the battle where what you think your identity is with what reality is showing you.
Yeah.
You can have things. This is what I realized. You can have all the things in the world, but if God wants to strip it from you, He will.
Yeah.
He will.
Fair.
So that was the character development part, because I know a lot of leaders that have lost their way. Who they think they are to the world, but God will strip things away from you if you're not, grounded. So it was a very grounding moment. It's okay, do. I was trying to control a lot of things, but just letting go and letting God, that is a real true statement.
Wow, bro.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
I'm happy you're here today.
Appreciate
I
you.
see you thriving right now.
Thank
I
you.
see you everywhere. I see you everywhere. I see this guy in everyone's pictures. And so I know you're networking. I know you're rubbing shoulders, making some deals, and I'm happy that you got out of that.
Appreciate it.
Says a lot. Let's talk about cryptocurrency, man. Like honestly, like I'm not heavy in the crypto space. I'm not super knowledgeable in the crypto space. I'm hearing it's taking a hit. I'm hearing people are losing a little bit of hope for cryptocurrency. What do you think?
Yeah, so one thing for sure is cryptocurrency is going to be here. So people actually have no idea, but like the NSA actually founded one of the blockchain functions of cryptocurrency way back in 2002.
Really?
Way back in 2002.
Is that silently?
Silently. You have
Why?
to really research it. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a greater plan for cryptocurrency, which we can all see. Like obviously like there's regulatory bodies that want to regulate this cryptocurrency space, because when there's regulation, there could be integration. So
True.
That's a real thing. So when there's regulation, there could be integration for everybody that's watching. And then I'm not gonna go into like the rabbit hole about like what's this guy's name? Satoshi Nakamoto.
Oh,
I'm not gonna go into all that and the founding,
alleged founder,
the alleged founder of
Yeah.
Bitcoin and like how everything came to be. But I do know it started off with this digital currency being being used for dark web services, and then transitioning into like more mass adoption. Us using it for like remittance. Like I'm gonna send you Bitcoin for a source of payment or whatever it may be. Obviously, now you have different sectors that were built off of blockchain, like DeFi, which we're talking about as well, like the innovation of finance, right? So we're in a centralized financial sector right now with TD, CIBC, all
BMO.
these central financial services, right? DeFi is something that's being built where it's just like you can earn a yield or a return off the cryptocurrency that you stake on the blockchain. It will create like all these different things. I'm not going to get too technical, but it's going to your first question, like, yes, there's a lot of things like, you had the FTX, you had Sam Bankman-Friedman that had that whole instance, and, everything was just gone within a night. But my personal opinion, they have to have certain industry plans everywhere to dissuade or persuade people to turn away
To fear.
to fear what is inevitable for this space already. So I'm an advocate. I'm an evangelist for cryptocurrency, because there is really, really good protocols and utilization for cryptocurrency that even the government knows, even today, public knowledge, that there's things that they can integrate, with the everyday working society.
So just playing God's advocate here. If you were the government, what would you feel about cryptocurrency?
If I'm the government, I have to find a way how I can have just mass control of this, because I understand how uncontrollable it can become, because everything is basically off the grid. You know what I mean? If I'm the government, what I have to do is figure out a way how we can create our own.
But then it won't be decentralized.
But to the person that's not in the know, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay,
The person that's not in the know.
Yeah.
But for just the everyday common folk, if we have a digital currency that we can let out, that makes it beneficial for everybody. That means we can see what you're purchasing. We could see where everything's going, and that's where that whole concept of that social credit system, that CBDC comes into. So that's what I'm doing if I'm the government, if I'm, playing for the people.
All right. So
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get into a little bit about the NFT space.
Right.
I just read a post on Earn Your Leisure maybe a couple of days ago, and they said 95% of NFTs are dead.
Yeah, I actually just checked out OpenSea.
It's done. Well, not done. It's ghost town.
it's a bloodbath for real.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the thing, me and my guys, we saw that from the beginning. We're artists, see your brother here is he's an artist. He has the actual physical forms of art pieces everywhere.
Yeah.
That will never change.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
It will never change, bro. You'll never get the same feel from art that a physical piece would do. You know what I mean? Because it's still digital. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. If you look at that painting, there's some type of emotion that was attached to that. You know what I mean? That's what made Picasso and all these different artists amazing throughout the times, right? So my thing is just like NFTs, the non-fungible technology. That's going to be
that
here.
works. Yeah,
I
believe in that.
Yeah, that is going to be here for like the next however long. Like even Gary Vee is on the same boat as that. You know what I mean? But like the NFT art piece where there's no utilization for NFTs, it's gonna be tough, man. To really keep that longevity for that. You know?
I agree. And here's the thing. Here's a little bit of a bone I have to pick with the culture a little bit.
Yeah.
I do feel like artists like popular artists will back these type of NFT projects for the art piece, and they're not really financial advisors, and they're just leading people astray.
Man.
What do you feel about that?
I think, remember, every influencer, no matter whatever they're selling, they have their own self-interest in whatever. You know what I mean? They have a brand. Yeah, they have the brand. They got to just get something out. Let's just say if it's an artist that hasn't created in a bit, this new industry's coming. Let me get it, it's a trend. Everybody's looking at it. Let me put my name attached to it so we can still have some buzz around the name to stay relevant. You know what I mean? But with that happening, it's just what happens is you have guys that have no idea about the space or anything promoting these things, and it's essentially defying their name, and it's just they have no idea this wasn't going to be here next 1 or 2 years, in advance. But
they got their influencer check.
Yeah, they got their influencer check. But again, that's just human nature too, right?
True.
So it's nothing that it's something that's just going to happen down the time. If people want to stay relevant, they're going to attach their names to a new up and coming thing. And then even if it's the wrong thing, it will still have the urge to do it. So this is why all I'm saying is just make sure when you're getting into these spaces, just have a mentor. Mm-hmm. Have somebody that has studied blockchain, because blockchain is the foundation of it all.
Exactly.
Without blockchain,
before you go on, and sorry for cutting you off, can you explain what blockchain is for the people that don't know?
So blockchain is just a ledger of transactions. So if you think of a ledger, let's just think of a bank ledger. So if you go onto your TD app right now, you see your amount inside of your checkings account. You press that button where it says for me, it's TD checkings. You click it and you see a whole bunch of transactions. That's a ledger. So all blockchain is a ledger of transactions on a decentralized system. That's peer to peer. There's no middleman. The middleman within the bank ledger, how I can't read what's on your account between what's on mine is because it's a centralized platform that we're on. Does that make sense? It's TD that's the middleman. So this is why I become a coach. We're
playing a little bit of a rigged game here.
Yeah. so TD is the middleman that is in between why I can't see what you just did. But here's the thing on the blockchain: if I send money to London right here, we could both read it on the blockchain because it's a peer-to-peer decentralized ledger. And if I send you
everything's transparent.
Hash, everything's transparent. And then you can just look at that code and be like, okay, no, he got that money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. So, I'll just wait for it.
Can you put it on silent for me, please? It's okay. It's my little brother. Yeah, silent, please. Thank you.
All good?
Yeah.
Cool. So that leads me to my next question. I want to talk about your business, Novelty.
Yeah.
What's going on? How did it start? And where do you think this is going?
So Novelty, we founded this about 2 years ago. So me and my partner Darren, he's actually the brainchild. He actually called me one day and he's just like, "Yo, Jay, we gotta make a company in the NFT space." The first vision was real estate. It was we got to do something in the real estate, just tokenized real estate. So imagine if you can get a piece of a property and we could do a little crowdfunding, model around that. So it's you, me, and London, we can get, to a couple pieces of the same property in a digital deed. So it was a great idea.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was crazy. But, we just found more of a solution within the ticketing space. Because even during COVID, we did the statistics. Nobody was stopping going to events. Even they had some restrictions. People were still going to events during these times. You know what I mean? Even if at one point the NBA had the bubble and people couldn't go in, nonetheless there were still events across the world that were going on. So we're ticketing will always forever be here because people would want to go to a convention for let's say a business conference. People want to go to a concert. People want to go to, Toronto FC, CFL game. It's going to be around. So we just focus on anything with a point of entry, we're going to work with. And it's a $60 billion industry, ticketing.
Jeez.
Just ticketing alone. It's across all industries.
So help me understand, what's the benefit of doing ticketing on the blockchain versus ticketing on the internet like Eventbrite?
Right. So again, Eventbrite there's nothing wrong with those platforms. They're web too, but we're just an innovation to that. True. So there has been certain circumstances where like Adele had used, or let's just say even for Drake, right? I'm not too sure if you heard about that federal case that Drake had to actually send a subpoena to Ticketmaster because the fees were extremely high from what he already set them at. That's the only thing about having another centralized type of marketplace, because it's like Drake had put them at one set price and then Ticketmaster had bumped
Hiked
them
it
up.
way up.
And if I can actually send you a photo on your WhatsApp, like the fees on Ticketmaster were the ticket was like $2,000 and then the fee was like $1,650. That's all Ticketmaster's fee.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of control.
Okay.
So what we allow tickets to do on the blockchain is like, now the event organizer has complete control. You just would admit how much tickets you want to be created, and then you can set your price and your resale price as well on a central marketplace, which we would have on our platform. That's why it's very powerful.
Okay, so it's again way more transparent.
Way more transparent.
Jeez.
And a quick thing that had happened with Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift had a concert, and this I believe was in the UK, and because me and Darren had did a study case on it, and then there was some scalpers. There were some scalpers that were on another platform that I can't remember what ticket platform she used, but they sold it on eBay for 10 times the price. It's for like $30,000-$40,000, and she saw none of it. But those were like front row seats. But that's what happens with scalping on these regular ticket platforms. So
I guess that negates scalping. That's a hustle.
Yeah,
a little bit.
No, it is a hustle. I mean, the IRS just came out with article that they're going to be cracking down if you make a certain amount of profit off of a ticket resale, it's going to be taxed, because it is actually a hustle. People actually make a full-time living off of it.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so where do you see that? When does it come out? Sorry.
For
your business is out.
So we're pre-launch.
Okay.
We're set for like early October. Mm-hmm. We're in our staging process right now, so we're like in our beta.
Okay, so what type of events are you looking to be on the platform first? Is it anyone, let's say I run a Black is the New Rich business event or what have you? Are you looking for people like me, or are you looking for those big concerts?
Anybody in between, anybody in between. So we obviously would like to see there be numbers first, to be a pre-qualified event organizer. True. But essentially we don't discriminate on what type of event, because it obviously could scale. We also want to help out with your marketing initiatives, which is something that Eventbrite doesn't do. So we're gonna have a few different subscription models on our platform as well that will help the SEO,
that's big.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we're gonna be doing with the data as well to attract more business, and that's something I can share later on. But that's the concept. We don't want to just be you just have an event and we're just gonna host it and then all internal users will just see it. We want to make sure your event is actually getting put out there and being seen by multiple eyes, even external of the platform. You know what I mean?
Wow, bro.
Something that Eventbrite doesn't offer. So we definitely have a lot of things that it's just it's a full encompassed. We're not just doing ticketing. It's a full encompass. We're helping you also. Novelty is helping you organize the event as well. Not getting our hands dirty. However you want to do the event, we're just helping out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So how do you guys get paid? Is it off the ticket sales, or do you have to buy a package for a service like that? How does that work?
So that's one of our revenue models, the SaaS model that we'll have, but just are traditionally just off of the transaction fee.
Okay.
So if you charge if you charge your event to be $100, 10% is what we charge on our transaction fee. That's where we make money.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
So I've invested in cryptocurrency years back, right? And I kind of messed up because I trusted someone to hold my shit for me.
Oh boy.
And allegedly, that money's gone. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So I'll never make that mistake again, because I swear to God, I put like, let's say $5,000 in. Right. Today, I forgot what that coin is, but the last time I checked, it was maybe 2020, and it was at like, I don't know, I would have had like 110 grand or something like that.
Oh, smokes.
Yeah. So allegedly that money is gone, right? So one, I know for next time I have to get a ledger and have to keep track of that myself, correct?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
If someone like me had that in my possession, I don't necessarily know exactly how to like take out my money or liquidate my money. Right. How would I do something like that?
Yeah, so great question. So as of right now, my partner and I have a business, like it's called Over the Counter OTC, and essentially what we do is we liquidate people from like cash to crypto. So if they had cash and they're like, yo, I don't want to go to like a Coinbase, I don't want to put my information, anywhere, they would find someone like us to help them out with that. You know what I mean? And same thing with like if they had cryptocurrency and they wanted to get cashed out, we help with the same like wire or cash, like however they want to get that money back to them.
How fast or how slow is that process?
No longer than 30 minutes to like 2 hours. Like, so if they come to our office, we have about 4 locations across Canada.
Yeah.
They come to our office in Toronto, let's just say our Yonge and Steeles location.
Yeah.
They come in, literally on site, 30 minutes to 2 hours. We just make sure everything is verified. We have our counters there and our people that work at the desk, and you just get it right there and then.
Okay, yeah. Dope. Let everyone know how they can contact you for that business, because honestly, yo, that's a game changer.
It's a game changer, bro. It's a game changer.
That's a game changer.
So like they can just like message me at my handle, Justin Kyle Joden.
Cool.
And obviously if they come through you, I trust, your network that you built up. So it's love from there, you know what I mean? Just keep it very simple. It's not too, you just come find us in real life and we'll handle them with like care, you know what I mean? And just show them like everything they would need to know, anything that they would need to know.
So one thing I've noticed, I've been watching, I would say like, I don't exactly know who's your closest or what have you, but I've been watching your crew for a while. Right? And I like how you guys move, because you guys are so young. I'm a little bit older than you guys. And you guys are taking shit serious from a very young age. How do you guys make sure that the goal is always the goal and ego doesn't get in the way?
We know, so for one of the first things, like how the ego doesn't get in the way. Like you had my brother here that I work with, Safari, like last, 2 weeks.
Like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like he's the click, and how we keep, because we're all like A+ guys, man. We all have our own like specialties. What we do is we all play our role very well. We in our group chats we always refer to like the NBA, and like remember how we said we have like the OGs that have been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's that guidance system that we have as well that doesn't allow our egos to get in the way. I would never try and play his spot. And like even we have some security guys that have a security business inside our group chat as well. I would never try and play their spot as well. And they know like when it comes to like cryptocurrency and understanding that spot, they don't try and step on my toes.
That's your lane.
That's our lane. So we actually respect each other as men, no matter what age, even younger. Like we don't get caught up in that age construct thing, because we all know that like we all have our own specialty and expertise in certain things, in certain lanes that we've been mastering for how long, you know what I mean? So that's how like the ego stays out of it, is like we respect each other's like knowledge and what we have, and like we listen if it's like in a specific industry or what, like just life in general, you know what I mean? And
at the end of the day with you guys, with what I've seen, like you guys are all super intelligent, you guys are super ambitious, so iron sharpens iron too,
It does, man. We all like have a belief in God, which is really good.
That's talk about big.
Yeah,
please,
let's talk about it, because it's like like as Jesus couldn't be Jesus without his disciples. He couldn't be. You know what I mean? He had to have his brethren and his wise counsel around him to get to the place. So as you're a soul, as we're souls here, you got to have your spiritual tribe. You got to have your soul tribe, or else you're not going to get anywhere. It takes a tribe to build the village. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, man, and that's just like the word of God, bro. It's legit. I think was it John? It talks about having wise counsel, and John was a big believer, So it's one of those things. It's like we just keep those foundations, and you know, that inevitably, if you enrich the spirit, you lessen the ego, so you can just keep on going.
I love that, bro. Because one of the questions I had, or actually I had this question for 19 Keys when I met him too, is that with black people, right, we come from all different cultures and religions too. Some of us are Christian, some of us are Muslim, some of us are something else, right? And I was studying the Jewish community, right? And what obviously holds them together is their faith and how much they believe in their faith. Like literally, you cannot like do a bad deal with someone because everybody in the church will find out. Everyone will know. So that faith keeps their business running smooth, right? But with us, I was asking because I'm like, well, not everyone has the same strength in faith as they do because they're Jewish. We're, like I said, as black people, some of us are Christian. Some of us are Muslim.
Come from different diasporas.
Exactly. Right. So I feel like that could be a little bit of I would say a little bit of a problem, let's say.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I know this is how 19 Keys would answer that. Like how he would answer this would be like, what I think honestly is, I don't think it has to do about the creed. I think it just the foundation has to be on God. Yeah. And I think Christian,
we're on that one God system.
Yeah, we're on that one monotheistic, right? Yeah. We're all on like in Islam, your name your name for God is Allah. For the Hebrew Jew, it's Yahweh. For the Christian, it's Christ. You know what I mean? It's God. So my thing is, it's like, we all have, just the one foundation of a divine thing that's above us. So I think if you can keep I know how it can be for like some black people. It's like, like that not having the same religious creed, but if the one foundation is just God itself,
then we're on the same side,
which connects all of us already. Mm-hmm. That's where you win. That's where you win, because it's like, if you can get out that construct, like I'm different than you, that's that separator, then you're obviously going to be blocked. You're going to be blocking a lot of blessings. You're going to be blocking a lot of like potential
opportunities.
Yeah.
100%.
So if you can just focus on just the relationship and focusing on the temple of like yourself, like the temple of God, which is you, and just operating in a love-based system, not a fear-based system, you'll get far. You'll get far.
100%. Because one of my friends, he's a little bit older than me, and he's Muslim, and he's always been telling me for like the last 12, 13, 14 years, he's like, yo, bro, one day we're all going to have to come together. Christians, us, like we're going to need each other, because we're fighting a battle out here that's hard. And right, in these countries, we're a little bit outnumbered, right? What do you have to say about that?
In the countries, I'm going to be honest with you, I even think that's an illusion. How so? I think just like the battle against other countries has been man-made and constructed. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, bro.
True.
No matter if I'm here in Canada and, there's a human being out in Iraq, we still believe the same. 100%. So I think,
So what do you think about the race thing?
Personally, in my eyes,
yes.
I see color, but I don't. Like I do know when like I can see you're black, like London's black. I can obviously see color, but at the same time I don't see color, because like I'm not on that.
That's not going to hinder you.
It's not going to hinder me. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
It's one of those things where it's just like, bro, like again, you can get like, obviously some people are still in their spiritual like understanding of things. People are at different levels than others, but like some of my best friends be Punjabi, bro. Some of my best friends be Punjabi. And like I could call him up right now, and his family's sees me with open arms.
Fair.
So and if they would put me in their their village in India, bro, just like straight love, So I can't say like it's not like I versus like another country thing or whatever. It's just like, bro, we have been manipulated throughout time and through media, through different things to think that there's an enemy at all. At all, like an enemy at all here in this life, when there actually isn't. Only person that could be an enemy is literally yourself, which is like your own self-sabotage. It could be, your ill-minded thoughts, your sick thoughts that we all, sometimes it happens when you're not in the right place, right? But all those dark moments, and you know, that happens to every single one of us, that it's just you. It's literally just you.
A lot of things have changed for me. I would say like 2019 when I really started, because obviously I played sports for a while, right? So that competitive nature, I had to literally relearn that and just play the game by myself. Not by myself, sorry, just me versus me.
Right.
So I realized that beforehand I was playing kind of like, oh, this person's doing this person, okay, let me see how I can do better.
Right.
But then when I started to switch up, like, yo, bro, I'm not hooping anymore. You're not competing with these people anymore.
Right.
So I started to change my perception. I'm like, yo, this is just really me versus me, and I see life go like this.
Yeah, because it's like, if I see, it's so true, bro. It's so true, because I come from that football background, and it's like my life got halted because I was always competing against somebody else.
Yes.
And you stop your own personal progression because you're like, yo, where's the competition now? You base your whole identity around that. So you actually have to relearn you. But it's like, man, it has always just been me. That dog that I've always had, like that I showed on the football field, or for you, like the ball court. It's like I always had that. It's just like it was just to compete. But like, what if I put that energy now back into myself, into what I got going creatively, that can now bring synergistic and collaborative initiatives or efforts. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the gold is. And then that's when, even for myself, like where all the progression started to come from, is like that collaborative mindset instead of competing, because it's inevitably doesn't go anywhere.
I agree, bro. Yeah. So Justin, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
I'm just trying. So I'm chasing a few ghosts. So I want to
elaborate.
So I'm chasing a few ghosts. So like for me, my ghost would be like a Nipsey Hussle.
That's my number one guy.
You know? It'd be like a Nipsey Hussle. It'd be like a Tupac. It'd be like a Drake. It would be like a Jackson, a Jordan. Those are the ghosts that I'm chasing. You know, even like a Jeff Bezos, Elon, in different, you know, Steve Jobs, in different remarks. Ultimately, I just want to be a full encompassed like human being, where people just remembered me when inside the grave, because it will happen. You know, I'm inside the grave, that like, yo, this individual was a very wise individual, loved people, and you know, people like ultimately, you know,
a game changer.
He impacted me, because essentially that's all you can do. Like I can accumulate a lot of things in this life, which I have. But like, I actually thought about that stuff too, bro. It's just like when I'm in a box, my friend, who's an artist, his name is Leo, he actually just said a king and a pawn go in the same box.
Yo,
hit me. Bro, that hit me, bro. Because I'm like, holy smokes, he's right. He's like, yo, because he's in the music industry, and he has great music, but he hasn't got like the looks or the outreach that like he has wanted to throughout all these years. And trust me, if I put on his music, you'd be booming to it. And he's just like, yo, it doesn't really matter, bro. Like at the end of the day, he's like, after all this work I put in, he just does it from like the soul, because it's like at the end of the day, no matter what, like a king and a pawn will go in the same box.
100%, bro.
And I was just like, oh,
I'm gonna take that one.
I said, yo, no, take that one, bro. Because that hit me like a ton of bricks, because it's like we all have our own personal mission to get somewhere, right? Yeah. We all do. So it's just like, holy smokes, if my stuff ended today, I die a king, but I'm going in the same box where a pawn died last night.
100%.
So I was like, holy smokes. So what do I want to do right now? So this is like helping me. So like, this is why I'm like, you right now are helping me with like the overall mission of like, how did this guy actually think? How did he actually behave in life? You know what I mean? How did he orchestrate himself through life? And this is like helping that overall cause. So I appreciate you.
I love that, bro.
Yeah, man. So like that's it. That's it.
I like that. I'm gonna take that king in the pawn, because that kind of like blew me away.
Bro, when I heard that, so we're in the car and I'm just like, I was like, yo, oh smokes.
Because yo, honestly, I feel like, because man, we see so much information on the daily, obviously with social media. It's hard sometimes I believe everybody gets caught in the comparison thing. Yeah. Just because we see so much, right? So lately for me, I just been saying, like, because people ask me like, yo, how come you're not here? Or how come you're not like da-da-da-da? Or how come you're invited to this thing or that thing? Like lately my answer has been, yo, bro, when it's my time, it's my time. right?
You gotta follow what's aligned with you.
Exactly. When it's
If
my
you
time,
chase
it's not
all
my-
the,
yeah, when it's my time, when it's my time, and that's why I don't really chase that much events and stuff, because you don't see me out really, barely,
Actually, yeah, barely.
barely, and that's just the type of
But when
person
you're
I
out,
am.
when you're out, it's special though. Because I
Yeah.
think it makes it more special if you're not as accessible.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
already introverted, so me being out takes a lot of energy out of me, bro.
Yeah, right.
You know, so like again, back to like that king of the pond, and when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. Because what I don't. Yeah, I think like. Because I think you're becoming like the king of this whole podcast stuff.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You and a few others. Like there could be many kings, by the way.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Talk
about that. That's a good point.
That's a great point, bro. Like
Talk about that.
I think people need to understand. Like I could be a king in the same industry. We can still make the amount of moves and plays and win.
There you go.
And my wins don't take away from your win, because it's like God already individually had our blessings already.
Had your mission
written,
out for you.
Already out for you.
Bro,
So that was how I sat. That's how I keep that peace within me. You know, like I can see other kings around me win, and I'm applauding, and it doesn't destroy me. It doesn't get me because where am I in my journey? It don't.
100%.
It don't, because I'm already a king in the Lord's books, and He already has what He's already preordained for my birthright, bro. So I don't got to worry about what brothers doing. I'm gonna applaud them. I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna show love. And then it's just that law. It's that law of God, bro. It'll come back to me tenfold. And if I can help him get to, even a higher elevation, what's to say that he won't even just pick up my hand and be like, "Let's roll."
Yeah.
Because if one king wins and he has love for like a next king, bro, like, and he picks up your hand and you guys are both there. But why try and destroy a man when he's on his building his kingdom, right? And then the next thing you know, you have an enemy for no reason, which it didn't need to be there. I see this thing kind of like medieval times. Like I do, like I kind of see this life thing in
Same
sometimes
concept.
constructs. Yeah, man.
Same concept still applies.
It's because it's been the laws. It's been the laws of human nature for like the dawn of time. I said, why was King David so loved? Why was King Solomon, so loved? It's because of like all these, principles and different things like that. You know what I mean? So I actually study a lot of kings, bro. I do. And like I seen the ones that had fallen, and I seen the ones that have kept on rising. You know what I mean? All King David really wanted is one of the best kings. They said the kings of kings. The reason why he kept on elevating, because all he wanted to do was chase God's heart. So God blessed him, and King David just blessed a lot of people, man. You know what I mean? Like they said, like his character was like he'd give the shirt off his back. He was a really good character. So that is like when I study kings, like those are like, my inspirations as well, and like where that thought process comes from. Because we may live in modern day times, but the soul has been like eternal. Like, I feel like, it's not my first run here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into all that. I don't feel like it's my first run here. But like, I definitely study, biographies of like.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
That's deep shit.
Yeah.
So these next two questions I ask every guest on the show, right? I want to know what's the best advice that you have ever received, and what's the worst advice you received. You don't have to say any names.
Yo, I have amnesia when it comes to like the bad advice that I get.
That's good though.
I have amnesia towards
good.
it, almost like dementia. Because when something doesn't sit with your spirit, you're just like, nah.
Yeah, get that out of here.
Let's see. That one by Ebon was really good when he said like,
yeah.
gotta be a
Yeah,
gallus.
yeah,
That was hilarious. But hold on, what's some a bad piece of advice? That you gotta be cutthroat to win.
No.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a complete facade. Like you gotta like essentially like I got that from one of my network marketing people that I'm from way back in the day. Like, it's a dog eat dog. Dog eat dog, you gotta be cutthroat. You gotta do whatever it takes to win. Like, I get the by any means necessary in terms of like how much effort and work ethic you should be putting into something, right? That is the real true by any means necessary. But I'm talking like if I gotta if I gotta like cut somebody or do immoral shit for success, I don't really want it. But that's kind of like that culture that I was brought up in. Like, you basically like you got to be cutthroat to win. Mm-hmm. Not true.
Mm-hmm. I agree, bro. Best advice?
Best advice: be in service to many people.
I love that. Elaborate.
It's the service to many leads to greatness. Be in service to as many people. Provide something Like when this is actually when I didn't have a product to sell before even novelty, is build something. If you really want to have like, like your goals and dreams be, fulfilled, provide something as viable where the marketplace can't say no to it. It's so good. It's so like desirable, that product or service, that it's just like they just have to give you something in the form of money or service because it's so good to them. It adds so much value. So be in service to many and like find whatever that is. For like entrepreneurs that are watching this, find whatever that niche is, whatever that service or product is, and make it so good and provide it to as many people, and then
serve your people.
Serving people. Yeah.
I love that, bro.
That was it.
So the last question, I'm doing something new on the show, and the last guest didn't know who was gonna come on the show next, right? And I said, think of a question to ask the next guest, and I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
This is what the question that they had. Let's see here. Where are you? Oh, here it is. All right. Can you think back to a time in your life where something happened that you felt was a negative, but looking back at it actually propelled you forward? Things happened for you, not to you.
It would definitely have to be the homeless situation. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, it built such a resilience in me, such a mental fortitude, and like such an armor around me. No words can ever get to me anymore. Like, people know. Yeah, I may be passionate. Like when I'm in my group chats and they be saying some shit. Like obviously, like like I can get like really passionate and like adamant, or like they say emotional, but like it's just me just being passionate about whatever situation.
You know what? I can relate to that. I'm the same way. Bro.
Yeah, bro. Like how to man be sometimes, But essentially, like I'm talking about just like that rhino skin that I built up, and just to never stop, no matter what external circumstances happen, is what has happened through that situation.
I do have a question, because you've been through such a traumatic stage, right?
Yeah.
And I do find sometimes when people go through traumatic things in their life, they built up that tough skin, but then when they look at other people's situation, they could have a lack of empathy. Do you find that with yourself, or you still have empathy towards people's situations, even though they might not have been through as much as you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I do see like the average everyday someone that's on the street, like homeless, I actually do have a lot of empathy for them, because I also remember like my mental state, and I'm like, you actually have to, like, here in Canada, you actually have to be in a very, very bad mental space to not be housed at all.
Elaborate on that.
Because there's a lot of like senior like shelters that they can go to, like a lot here in Canada, and like you have like different like subsidies and different like things that you can get paid for, and all these things, like for even disabilities and all the different things. You can, like, if you are like here on the street here in Canada, you're actually not you're not like in any place at all, like here mentally, bro. And I do have a lot of empathy for them now. But is there some times where it's just don't want to give up because I already know where the money probably will go? I can discern now, you know what I mean? Who's somebody that's in a tough time, which I have empathy for, and somebody that has just for vices and different things like that, you know what I mean? So my brain has been able to decipher like who's who. But like even some of the kids that I witnessed back when I was in these situations, some of these kids are like coke babies.
Jeez.
And like it's like, bro, it's like they have no choice but to do some type of, because like it's already in them.
Yeah, that keeps them alive almost.
So it's like tough, bro. So I do feel for a lot of these. I honestly understood humanity a lot more on the darker side of things. Mm-hmm. So I understood the dark side and I understood the light side. And I found myself like right in between, to just be that even keel, kind of like just how Christ was, just even keel, equilibrium.
And to me, that's an important part of like leadership, because you can relate to people on the very bottom, and you can relate to people on the very top. Yeah. And I feel like because you have a humble energy, I feel like you're gonna do a lot of big things with that type of energy.
Appreciate you,
man. Before we go, just let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so Instagram handle is Justin Kyle Joden. LinkedIn is Justin Kyle Joden. and Facebook is Justin Kyle Jordan. You guys want to connect on Facebook, but yeah, if anybody reaches out to you in terms of what we talked about, send them my handle and we'll get
100%.
details. But yeah, that's me.
All right, Justin. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I know we've been talking about it for a little while now,
Right.
and honestly, this was a great conversation.
Right,
Like, you know,
right.
honestly, I don't know if anyone ever told you, but like, you're wise beyond your years. Like, even just the way you talk and the way you conduct yourself, and I really appreciate that about you. So, bro, like, I keep on going. Your team is doing well in the city and doing well in the world, right? And now I expect big things from you guys, you know,
Appreciate you.
because you guys are game changers. And keep going, bro. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks.
Everything black on black. Get faster, that facts on facts.